The Wise Man Who Lived in a Tub. At Corinth, in Greece, in the days of Alexander the Great, there lived a very wise man, whose name was Diogenes. He wandered from town to town, telling people how little they really needed, and how simply they should live. He did not believe in luxury or soft living. Fine clothes and magnificent houses were, he thought, not at all important. And so he did not live in a house, but would sleep in doorways or in the porches of temples, and was content with the scantiest of clothing and the poorest of food. Diogenes carried his teachings wherever he could, and wandered about till he found a great round wooden tub shaped like a barrel, and that tub became his home for many years. He could roll the tub from place to place, and would spend his days sitting in the sun and saying wise things to any who would listen. Many did come from far and wide to hear him. Many stories are told of his sayings. One day at noon he was seen walking through the streets and marketplaces of the city with a lighted lantern in his hand. He was looking carefully all about him, as if in search of something. "Why are you carrying a lighted lantern when the sun is shining?" someone asked Diogenes. "I am looking for an honest man," he said. When Alexander the Great, as a young king, visited Corinth, all the foremost men of the city came to greet him with gifts and praise. For Alexander had by that time conquered nearly every nation in Europe and Asia. But Diogenes, the most famous citizen of Corinth, did not come, and he was the only man in the city for whose opinion Alexander cared. Diogenes continued to pay no attention to Alexander's being in the city, and gave no sign of moving from his tub. And so, since the wise man would not come to see the king went to see the wise man. With his retinue of officers, the young king, who longed to conquer the whole world, walked to the part of the city where he heard Diogenes was. Diogenes, wearing rags, was sitting beside his tub, enjoying the warmth and light of the sun. He did not even look up, for he was absorbed in his thoughts. Diogenes appeared not to notice the man who had made millions tremble. Alexander approached and stood in front of Diogenes so that his shadow fell across the old man. The king watched him for a few moments and then said, "Diogenes, I have heard a great deal about your wisdom. Is there anything I can do for you?" "Yes," said Diogenes, looking up for the first time. "Stand to one side so that you won't keep the sun off me." This answer was so different from what Alexander expected that he was much surprised. But it did not make him angry. It only made him admire the strange man all the more. As he turned away, he said to his officers, "Say what you will. If I were not Alexander, I would like to be Diogenes."